record. Right. Okay, so we're going to start on our feet. Oh, I forgot to mute everybody. Let me do that. There we go. Yes, that's everybody muted. Right. I'll make my screen a bit bigger. Sorry, I'm a bit disorganized this evening. There we go. Okay. Right, so starting standing with your feet in your nice hip width distance apart. So not too wide, remember it's just about your 2 fist widths. Okay, so knees not locked. Bring your pelvis into a nice neutral position. Might feel a wee bit like your bum is sticking out slightly. And then just roll your shoulders back and down. And we'll start off with a couple of nice breaths. Breathing in through the nose if possible. Feeling lungs and belly expand. And then breathing out, long, slow exhale through the mouth, drawing your belly button inwards and closing the ribs back in. Good, a couple more, breathing in and out. One more, lovely deep breath. And out. Brilliant. Then just start into some nice backwards rolls of your shoulders. Good. Lifting them right up to the ears and then dropping them all the way down. Good. Okay, then put your fingertips up onto your shoulders and then bring the elbows out in front, almost touch them together. Then point elbows up towards the ceiling and then point them down towards each other behind your back. So basically just really nice big circles with the elbows. Good. Click, click, click. I don't know if you can hear all my bones clicking from over there. But with no music or anything, I'm always a bit conscious that my bone clicks are very noisy. Good, then release the hands and come into full arm circles. Breathing in, stretch the arms all the way up. And then breathe out, circle the arms back and down. Good, breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, circle back and down. Good, one more. Lovely. Okay, then we're going to bring our arms up into this goalpost position, okay? So your elbows are at 90 degrees. All right, lovely. Okay, then breathe in and just squeeze your shoulder blades together behind your back and fill the lungs with air. And then breathe out and bring the elbows together in front of you, getting a nice stretch across your shoulders and emptying the lungs of air. Good, breathe in and open. Breathe out, close. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, close. Good, a couple more. One more, inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Then drop the arms down either side of your body. Now breathe in and just come into a nice side bend. And then use your exhale to come back into the center. Breathe in, go down the other side, hand reaching down the outside of your leg. Exhale, draw core in, come back into the center. Breathe in, stretch to the side. Breathe out, back to the center. Breathe in, stretch to the side. Breathe out, back to the center. One more each side. Lovely. Okay, Now we're going to move down to our feet. All right, so we're just going to lift the right heel off the floor and then switch. Lift your left heel off the floor and then switch. Just kind of warm up your feet a little bit. Good. And you can just rest your hands up onto your hips. Okay, then put both your heels flat down onto the floor. Just come into a small little bend down. And then back up. So just as far down as you can go while you're still keeping your heels on the floor. And up. Good. Couple more. Lovely. Okay, then come down into a bend. Lift your right heel off the floor and come back up to stand. Drop the right heel back down. Come down into a little bend. Lift your left heel off the floor. Back up to stand and drop the left heel down. Good. Lift your right. Bend. Good. Stand back up and drop. Now lift your left. Bend. Stand back up and drop. Good. Bend both knees. Now lift both heels off the floor. Come up to stand. Wibbly, wobbly, wibbly, wobbly. Good. Drop both heels down. Now reverse that. Lift both heels off the floor. Bend both the knees. Good. Drop both your heels down and back up to stand. Good. So we'll do a wee few more rounds of that. So bend both knees. Lift your right heel. Stand up. Drop your right heel. Good. Bend both knees. Lift your left heel. Stand back up. Drop your left heel. Lovely. Bend both knees. Lift both heels. Stand back up. And drop both heels down. Good. Now just lift right heel. Bend both knees. Drop right heel. And stand. Lift left heel. Bend. Drop left heel. And stand. Good. Lift both heels. Bend both knees. Drop both heels. And stand. Good. Okay, shake out the legs a little bit. And then bring yourself into a wider foot position with your toes pointing out. So you can keep your hands on your hips or arms stretched out to the side, just whichever you feel more comfortable with. Okay, we're going to come down into a little squat now, taking your knees out in line with your toes. Okay, so just go down, check that. Make sure your knees aren't going in if your toes are pointing out. Okay, good. And then stand back up. Good, do a few more of those. Down and stand. Squeezing your glutes as you stand. Good, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more, in and out. Okay, now we're going to add in some of those lovely heel lifts. So lift your right heel. Come down into your V-squat. Good. Drop the right heel and stand. Left heel, lift. Come down into your squat. Drop the left heel and stand. Good. Lift right. Lower. Drop right. And stand. Lift left. Bend. Drop your left. And stand. Good. Now we reverse it a little. So bend. Lift your right heel and press up to stand. Drop the right heel again. Good. Bend. Lift your left heel. Push up to stand. And drop the left heel down. Good. Right again. So bend. Lift your right heel. Good. Press up to stand. Drop the right heel. Bend again. Lift your left heel. Up to stand. And down. Good. All right, now come down. And you can reach the arms forwards, out to the side, just whatever works best for you. I kind of like to come forwards, and then we're just going to lift and lower the heels, staying down, okay? So feeling a really good burn in the old thighs. All right, lift your right heel and lower. Lift your left heel and lower. Back to the right, lift and lower, left and lower. One more, lift the right, lower, lift the left, lower, and push up. Good, we'll do that one more time, if I can breathe. Okay, so come down into your squat. Lovely. Lift your right and lower. Lift left and lower. Right again. And left. One more, right and left. And press up. Good, well done. Okay, come down now to the end of your mat. And we're going to do 3 nice roll downs. So nice breath in with your shoulders back. And then on your out breath, draw the abdominals in. Start to curl yourself forwards and down, feeling the stretch down the spine and a little bit down the backs of the legs. Now take a breath in and then breathe out to slowly restack your spine and come back to upright. Shoulders back, breath in. Good, breathe out, roll down. Breathe in at the bottom. And breathe out to lift back up. Good, shoulders back. And again, exhale down. And this time, walk your hands forwards and come down onto your hands and your knees. Brilliant. Okay, so a little bit of our lovely cat-cow just to warm up the spine. So we have our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and then just start into the lovely breathing in as you scoop the spine, push the belly down, push the tailbone up, looking forwards. And then breathing out, we tuck the tailbone, round across the shoulders, tuck your chin in and look back towards the knees. Good, breathe in, look forwards, belly down, tailbone up. And then breathe out, tuck the tailbone round the shoulders, belly button in, and look back towards the knees. 2 more lovely breaths, moving at your breath length. You don't need to synchronize with me. Good, last breath. Lovely. And then come into a nice flat back position. Now we're just going to work the legs first. I'm just wondering what the best, maybe this way's better for me. Okay, so we're going to start with our right leg. So just slide your right leg out behind you. And then we're going to do 10 lift and lowers, okay? Feeling this more in your glutes than anywhere else, okay? So breath in, and then on your exhale, lift and lower, keeping the legs straight. 2 and down, 3 and down, 4, 5, 6, 7, good, 9, and last one. Brilliant. Then bring that knee back in underneath the hip, slide your left leg out, and we'll do 10 lift and lowers on our left side. So exhale, lift and lower. 2 and down. 3 and down. 4, 5, 6, good. Last 2, remember to keep breathing. Good, and then bring the knee back in underneath the hip. Now our arms, okay? So right arm, slide it out in front, and then lift and lower 10 times. Trying to get your bicep up the side or above the ear. 1, and lower. 2, good. 3, 4, 5. Good, 2 more. Good, and then slide that hand back in underneath the shoulder. Slide your left arm away, and then lift and lower. 1, 2, good. 3, 4. Good, last 2. Brilliant. Just take a little bit of a stretch, taking the weight off the wrists for a moment. And then we're going to put those 2 movements together. So we're going to stretch out opposite arm and opposite leg and lift and lower 10 times. Just going to adjust my camera now that I'm not standing anymore. Okay, so come back up then onto hands and knees. If your wrists are struggling with this, just forget about the arms, concentrate on your legs and come down onto your elbows instead, okay? But if your wrists are feeling okay, let's keep going. So we'll slide our right leg and our left arm away. Now take a breath in, and then on your exhale, lift and lower. Good. Up to 10. But if you need to stop before, obviously you just do that. That's 5, 6, thinking bicep to ear. Good, last 2. Brilliant. Bring hand under shoulder, knee under hip. Let's swap sides. Right arm, left leg extend, breathe in. And then on your out breath, lift and lower. Good. Keep breathing. Halfway through. Good. 3 more. And last 1. Good. Bring the knee back in underneath the hip and just push back again. Bum down onto the heels and just take the weight off the wrists. Stretch the body forwards, maybe bringing your head down onto the floor if it's comfortable. Just finding a comfortable position for you, whatever that is. Good. Okay. Now we're going to come up into a high kneeling position now. So if you want to, you can grab your towel or double over your mat, just something maybe to provide a little bit of extra support under the knees if you need it. If you don't need it, then that's fine as well. So I'll just give you a wee second to get organized if you are getting something. Okay. Right. And then we are, up on our knees in this nice high kneeling position. So we're going to start off with a little bit of our lean back into our thighs stretch. So I'll just show you sideways on, okay, first. So either with your arms down by your side, take your breath in, and then as you exhale, just lean back, hinging at the knees rather than hinging you know, sitting your bum down towards your heels. So we're just leaning back. Now, if you just get a little bit back, that's fine. Or if you're able to go, you know, really, really far back, that's great. Now, if you want to, you can extend the arms out in front. Good. Just take this at your own pace. Good. And hopefully you can feel this all the way down the front of your body. But you should also feel the glutes firing up a little bit as well. You know, they're working hard to hold you. Okay, one more. Brilliant. Okay, then we're going to go into a side bend. All right, so I'm just going to show you very quickly 2 options, because option 1 would be standing up on your standing leg like this. Other leg is stretched out and hand comes in underneath your shoulder. We breathe in and come into a lovely side arch. And then on your exhale, bring the arm down and leg lifts to meet the hand. Now, if this is too much on this underneath leg, just come down onto your lower hip. And then same idea, lovely side bend and lift the leg on your exhale. So I'll show you from the high kneeling. Please just go down onto your hip if you need to, okay? So nice breath in, thinking about the rib, the lowest rib reaching up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Lift. In and out. In and out. Good. Good, a few more. Good, 3 more. Well done. Okay, then we swap over to the other side. So you can check as well, you know, make sure you've got your hand far enough out. You don't want your shoulder going over your wrist. It'll be too uncomfortable for you anyway, so I'm sure you probably are in the right position. Okay, so then legs stretched out, breathe in, reaching up and over. More than a side reach, it's a side bend. Good, and then exhale, lift leg, lower arm. Breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Lovely. Good, 2 more, I think. Lovely. Okay, then go back to the side that you started on. And bring your free hand just up behind the ear. Now you can do this from down on the floor as well, just, you know, down on your hip and your elbow if you prefer, okay, if it's too much to stay up in this high kneeling position. So we're just going to do some straight leg lift and lowers with this top leg, okay, so 10 in total. Breathe in, and then on your out breath, lift and lower. 1, good. 2, don't rush it. 3, good. 4, standing leg is working really hard. Good. Good, last 2. Brilliant. Now we'll swap over to the other side. So free hand comes up behind the ear. Lovely. Nice breath in to prepare. And then exhale, lift and lower. Don't rush it. Good. In control on the way up and the way down. Lovely. Two more. Brilliant. Good. And then just come back. Take the wee mat away or the towel away if you were lying on one. And come down into a seated position at the end of your mat. We're going to go down onto your back and have a little bit of a 4-point stretch. So if you have a band handy, you might need it just to help you with the stretch. So arms stretched out, take your breath in, and then on your out breath, roll yourself down onto your back. Now, if you're going to use the band, let's start now. So we'll just wrap the band around our left thigh. And then we're going to lift the right foot, put your right foot over onto your left knee. Now, if you know you don't need the band, just don't worry about it. So before we lift this left leg, we're just going to push the right knee away for a moment. Feel a bit of a stretch around the outside of your right glutes, your right hip. Then, if you can lift that left foot off the floor and either reach around with the hands around behind the back of that left thigh or use the band and pull the left leg in towards you, still with that right foot resting on the knee and still gently pushing that right knee away. So just pull as far as you need to till you feel a really nice stretch all around the outside of your right glutes and your right hip and groin area. And just try and breathe into it. Remember, try to smile and relax the muscles in your face when you're doing difficult stretches. It just helps to send signals to relax to the muscles if we smile. Good, one more big breath. Lovely. Then we're going to swap over and do the other side. So if you need the band, let's get it in position first around the back of your right thigh. Lift the left foot over onto your right knee. Take a moment just to push your left knee away. Breathing all the time, relaxing the facial muscles, trying to relax all the muscles. And then when you're ready, lift the right foot, bringing the right knee in towards you, using the band if you need to, and still gently pressing away with the left knee. And you might notice that one side feels a lot tighter than the other, or one side gives you twinges somewhere. So just take notice and just pay attention to your own body. Not that you need to take any specific action or anything, just kind of giving your body a moment of sort of acknowledgement and awareness. And just breathe calmly, slowly. Lovely. Good. And then put both your feet down onto the floor, and we're just going to put the wee band away for now. Okay. Good. Okay. So now get your pelvis into a nice neutral position. Okay, so not too tilted back, not too tilted forwards, just a nice neutral position. Hands just resting on the floor beside you. Now we're going to start off just with some little slides out of each leg. So if you can just place your hands onto your hip bones so that as you do this, you're reminding yourself to keep your pelvis really, really steady as you slide each leg out straight. Good, so breathe out as you slide. And then breathe in as you come back in. Breathe out and slide. Breathe in, coming back in. Good, one more. Now, if anyone's suffering with any lower back issues at the moment or anything, or just feeling tired and a little low in energy, just stick with this movement, okay? It might not feel like much, but it's enough if it's enough for you tonight, okay? Otherwise, we're going to lift the legs up into our tabletop position. So that brings our hips to 90 degrees and our knees to 90 degrees, and our shins are parallel with the floor. Okay, then from here, we're going to continue with this straightening of the legs. So breathe in, prepare. And then on your out breath, straighten that right leg and hover it down off the floor. And then bring it back. You might like to now creep the fingers in towards the stomach muscles, the lower stomach muscles, so you can really feel them and encourage them to flatten and drop inwards to help protect that lower back. So we exhale and pull core in. And then lift back in. Good. Just alternating right and left. Good. Now check in with your spine as well. Make sure that the back of the ribs is connected to the floor. So again, this doesn't look like much of an exercise, but if you're doing it with full control and concentration, it is really challenging. So back of the ribs connected, core flattening and tightening. Good. We'll do one more on each leg. Brilliant. And then just give those knees a little hug in towards your tummy. Good. Okay, then put your feet down flat onto the floor. And this time point the arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take the arms up overhead now. Okay, so just as we were doing with the legs, we're just going to start with just a little reach up with the right hand, and then back, and then reach up with the left hand, up and over. So you're trying to touch the hand to the floor behind you. But again, don't force it. If you're feeling pretty tight in the shoulders and you can't reach the floor, that's okay. What I want you to pay attention to here as well is that as you're taking the arms up and over, you're not really arching in the ribs or, lifting the back of the spine, the middle of the spine off the floor. So use that exhale again, flattening your core, keeping the back nice and firmly connected to the ground. One more on each arm. Okay, so you probably know what's coming next. We're going to put arms and legs together. So you can keep your feet on the floor and do those slides away with the leg. Concentrating on keeping pelvis steady and keeping ribs not flared and spine nicely connected to the floor. Keep your feet on the floor if that's enough. Otherwise, we're going to do this from the tabletop position of the legs. Exhaling, right arm, left leg, or the other way around, just whichever you were drawn to do first is fine. And then switch. And come back. Good. Keeping full control the whole time. Dropping your feet down back to the floor if you need to. Remember, nobody's watching, nobody cares what you're doing. Well, I'm watching and I care, but you know what I mean. Brilliant. So really important to always tune in with how you're feeling each time you practice. There's so many different things, especially for women, that can change how our bodies are able to move from one day to the next, 1 week to the next. Good, just a few more. And last one. Brilliant, and just give the knees a little hug in again to give that lower back a little stretch. Good. Lovely, and then from here we're going to roll over onto our side. So whichever side you want to go to first is fine. We're just going to go straight onto the other side so we won't forget. Okay, so we're going to do the clam. So I like to do the clam with my feet lifted, but there are loads of different options. So you can have the bottom foot just resting completely flat down onto the floor, or you can have just the toes of the bottom foot resting on the floor, or you can have your feet lifted, just whichever is most sort of beneficial for you. Okay, so feel free to play around with those different positions. Now you want the hips stacked. If you put your hand onto your hips, just as a reminder not to let yourself roll back as you open the knees. If you're really familiar with it, you can keep your hand up behind your head as well. Okay, so nice breath in, and then on the out breath, just lift that upper knee and feel a little squeeze in the glutes. Try to lift a little higher, and then lower. Good. Exhale, lift, squeeze, and lower. Brilliant. Lift, squeeze, and lower. If it's too much with the feet lifted, just put it back down again. And then again, just sort of notice, are you able to lift as high with your foot on the ground? How does everything feel for both the legs? Okay, now on this next few, we're going to lift with either your feet down on the floor or lifted. So lift the knee, hold it, try and extend and straighten out the leg, reaching through the heel. Then bring your heels back together and close the knees. And again, good. 1 to lift, 2, straighten out, press through the heel. 3, bring your heels back together. And 4, close the knees. Good, 2 more of these. 1, lift the knee. 2, straighten out the leg, press through the heel. 3, heels together. 4, close the knee. Good, last one. Lift, stretch, heels together, and close. Good. Okay, we're going to go straight over onto the other side. And do the same on the other leg. Okay, so again, feeling free to experiment with the different feet position. Hands on hips or behind the head, just whichever you prefer. Breathe in, prepare. And then exhale, lift without your hips rolling backwards. Good, lift, squeeze in the glutes to get even further, even if it's just a wee millimeter, and lower, good. Try changing foot position, see what changes. What feels best for you tonight? Good. Everything nice and slow, focused, not rushing through it, and trying really hard to focus in on your body as you're doing the movements. Okay, now on these next few, we're going to do the extension. So lift the knee, try and straighten the leg, press through the heel. Good, then bring your heels together and close the knees. Good, again, Open the knee, straighten out the leg, heels together, and lower. Good, 2 more. Lift the knee, straighten the leg, bend, and close. Last one. Lift, straighten, bend, and close. Good, and just relax the legs. Now from here, we're going to roll over onto our tummy. We're going to do the dart, okay? So this is where you kind of imagine yourself squeezed really tight inside a tube. So you have your heels connected, your glutes are switched on, your hands, then the palms of your hands are connected to the outside of your legs. Now start with your chin or forehead resting on the floor. Take a breath in, and then on your out breath, lift your head and your chest off the ground, reaching your fingers down the outside of the legs. And then lower. Good, exhale, lift. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And lower. Hopefully feeling this across the midsection of your back. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And lower. Good. Keep those heels connected. Use the glutes as well. We're working the whole back of the body. And lower. So it doesn't need to be a big movement at all. Good. Last couple. And last one. Brilliant. Now bring your hands together so that you can just rest your forehead on your hands to make sure I have enough space. Okay, so we're going to lift and lower the legs now. So just separate the legs. We're going to lift right and then left and then both together. So keep the legs straight. We're lifting the leg from the hip. Okay, nice breath in to prepare. Then on the out breath, lift the right leg and lower. Next breath, lift your left leg and lower. Next breath, try lifting both and lower. Good, and just keep repeating right and left and both together. Good, right and left and both together. Good, keep on going. Good, one more on each leg, right and left, and last time, both together. Brilliant. Now bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees again. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and come back into that nice cat stretch, rounding across the shoulders. And then if you just start to draw nice big circles with the hips, just to stretch every part of your spine. So kind of lingering in any position that you feel you need an extra stretch. So pushing your hips all the way over to the right, and then sliding them all the way over to the left, then coming forwards. Good, and really take your time with it. Enjoy the feeling of stretching everything out. Then just change the direction of your circles. Good. And then take a moment, feet together, push the knees apart slightly, and just push your bum back down towards the heels and stretch forwards. Take a couple of nice breaths, either with the arms stretched out in front, or if they need a wee bit more rest, you can just bring your arms down either side of your legs. And just rest for a few breaths. Lovely. Good. Okay, then come back into a seated position again. With your legs straight out in front of you, if possible. If you need a little bend in the knees, that's completely fine. Okay, but straight out if possible. If you can straighten the legs, let's flex the feet. So we're going to get the calves and the quads working. Okay, now if you can again, lift the arms up so your hands are in beside your ears, not behind the head, so we're not pulling the head forwards, just kind of resting in beside the ears. Now take a nice breath in, and then on your exhale, we're going to go into a little spine twist. Twisting over to one side, good. Breathe in, coming through the center, and then breathe out. Twist to the other side. Breathe in through the middle, breathe out to the side. Good. Now try not to let there be any movement at all in the legs. Lovely. Good. Last couple. Good. And then take the arms down. Now you can bend the legs if you want to. Actually, yeah, we'll all just start with the knees bent. And we're going to go into some roll downs, okay? So starting off with half roll downs and then just staying there if you need to, or going into our full down and ups. So arms reaching out in front, sitting up straight through your spine, breathe in. And then on your out breath, round your spine, turn it into more of a C shape. So we kind of lead with the middle section of our back. Roll down, don't let your spine actually reach the floor, hold and breathe in. And then exhale, use those core muscles, draw belly button inwards. Sit back up and restack your spine. If you want to, you can try this with straight legs. Exhale, round down. Try not to hunch the shoulders up, so keep them down, long away from the ears. And then when you breathe out again, you sit back up. Now, if you need to, if you need extra support, knees stay bent, and you just support yourself with your hands in behind the knees as well. So you're using the arms as well as your core. Always feel free to adapt any way that you need to. Good. Now, those of you who are willing or able or whatever, we're going to go the whole way down, breathing out. Slowly but surely feel each section of your spine connect with the floor. Breathe in, arms up overhead. And then breathe out, slowly but surely. Lifting head and shoulders, middle section of your spine. Keep drawing the belly button in. Sit back up and come into a lovely spine stretch, reaching forwards towards the feet. Just stick with those half roll backs if you need to, not going the whole way down and the whole way up. or just keep repeating this lovely slow flow going the whole way down. There's also the option with the band, which if you've done my videos before, you will know well. Exhale, lift up. Keeping the band around the soles of your feet, so you can use the band to help you both on the way down, keeping it slow, and on the way up, you're able to pull on the band so you're not so reliant on your core. So use whatever you need to use or stop wherever you need to stop. So just this half roll back using the arms as well, or the full roll back. Good. Last couple, last two. And now stretch forwards. Good. And last one, slow, slow, slow. Really enjoying the slowness of it all. Asking yourself how every part of the body feels as you're doing these movements. Trying to let your body be your only focus, your body and your breath. Great. Okay, then if you can all grab your band, we're going to finish off with some nice stretches. Okay, so if you wrap your band around your right foot, good. And then we're just going to lower ourselves down onto the floor and lift that right leg up towards the ceiling. Now, supporting the leg with the band, we're going to start with some rotations. So twisting that leg from the hip socket. So twisting in and then twisting out, just as best you can. But not an ankle circle, you know, we're just moving from the hip, if that makes sense. Good. Last one, in and out. Good, then bring it into a central position and just focus on the back of the leg. If you need to, you can bend your other leg as well, if that gives you a wee bit more freedom to stretch. And then try flexing this right foot as well. So we're pulling the toes in towards the shin, and you'll really feel that then creeping up into your calf muscle. Lovely. Then just take the right leg all the way out to the right hand side, making sure you have enough room. This is where working out at home gets tricky. Not many of us have big, massive spaces, do we? Good, so use the band again then to pull it slightly back so you feel a really good stretch in the inner thigh, the right side. Remember to relax the facial muscles. Try not to frown or clench. And then bring the right leg all the way over across the left side. So you need to straighten out your left leg if you had it bent. And now we feel this, wow, everywhere really. So right in behind the knee, maybe even all the way down to the heel and the ankle, up and around the outside of your hip as well. Good, nice and relaxed. Brilliant. Good, okay, then we're going to swap over, do the same with our left leg. So put the band around your left foot. And just start off with our internal and external rotations. Taking your time with it as well. So kind of getting to the furthest position and then a little Squeeze, see if there's any more you can go. Brilliant. Good, okay, then resting in a central position and just using the band to pull the leg back so you get a good stretch down the back of the hamstring. And then flexing the foot as well. Try not to clench. I'm talking to myself. When it starts to nip, your face just automatically kind of goes, doesn't it? And you clench your teeth and frown. But if you try really hard to just smile and relax. Good. I can feel mine shaking a wee bit as well today. Good, last breath in this position. Then take your left leg all the way out to the side. And again, use the band to intensify it. Try and pull the leg back up right till you get that real kind of biting point in the inner thigh. Brilliant. And then bring that left leg up and across over to the right hand side. So straightening out your right leg if it was bent. And again, using the band just to intensify it all a little bit more, as if it wasn't sore enough. So just pull the leg back up slightly, up towards behind you, up towards your head. Good, last breath. Lovely. And then just take the band away and come into a nice restful position. Whether you prefer to stay lying down or you want to sit up now at this point, it's up to you. And we're just going to finish with some nice purposeful breaths. So whatever position is comfortable for you, you might want to close your eyes as well, just to help you to focus on your own breath and your own body. And just take a lovely long breath in through the nose and notice what happens. And then slow exhale through the mouth. And again, notice what happens. Breathing in and breathing out. Just breathing your own way to your own length. One more breath, really tuning in on this last one to how you feel when you take that lovely, long, slow exhale. Feeling your shoulders drop, your jaw soften, and your forehead and brow relax. Lovely, and then in your own time, just letting your eyes open again if they were closed. Maybe wriggling your fingers and your toes. And your session is over for the evening. So thank you very much. I'll have a wee chat with the live people now.